Hello everyone. Today's conversation is going to be super exciting and super fun, mainly because it's with an ex-Formula 1 driver. He's not only an ex-Formula 1 driver, but he's also won two World Drivers' Championship in Formula 1 with Team McLaren. He's won the 1998 and the 1999 World Drivers' Championship in Formula 1, and he's none other than Mika Hakkinen. Mika Hakkinen has raced alongside the likes of Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna, and what I strongly believe, he has pulled off one of the strongest and one of the boldest overtaking maneuvers in the history of motorsport alongside Michael Schumacher during the 2000 Spa Grand Prix. In this conversation, Mika Hakkinen shares with us his amazing experiences in Formula 1 on the racetrack and off the racetrack. Hope you all enjoy this conversation.
Has retired. You still love the sport,
100%.
and you still and I enjoy enormously motor racing, and I do have some involvement, of course, with Valtteri Bottas, with McLaren, in Formula 1 in general. I have a lot of activities there, which keeps my, it's just a passion. It's a great sport, and I do feel also that what is special in Formula 1, because it is a team sport. The Grand Prix team has total about, let's say, 800 to 1,000 people working on a team. So it is a massive team sport, So that is fascinating to everybody to get the success and work to get found the best out of them. It's such a motivating factor.
True that. F1 is indeed a team sport. And you in 1999 and 1998, 1999, with the teamwork of with Ron Dennis and McLaren, you guys did wonders. And that's when I started watching Formula 1. So yeah, I pretty much fell in love with the sport just because of you guys killing out there on the track.
Yeah, that's good. I tell you what, the Formula 1, it's a fascinating sport. If you look down the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, year 2000, then it has all the time different era, different drivers, different passions. The generation of the followers are changing. The world is changing. It's a normal procedure. And what you just said, I'm happy you enjoyed those times when I was racing there, and you got the passion for the Formula 1, and you are a fan of Formula 1 today, and that's brilliant. And the Formula 1 general idea is all the time to activate, to find something new, a leader for motor racing, to be a leader for the fans, to find something new, and that's a good thing. So did you say, did you ever had a chance? Did you say you had a chance to go to Grand Prix?
Luckily, I did once, and I think, Harwani, you've been quite a few times, haven't you?
I've been to 3 Grand Prix. So nice. twice Singapore, once Abu Dhabi.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. I tell you what, I think you have chosen very good Grand Prix.
I went for the first year that the Singapore Grand Prix happened, and then I went for the 10th Grand Prix in Singapore, the 10th anniversary. Yeah.
Singapore Grand Prix. Every Grand Prix is great, but I do find the Singapore Grand Prix very unique, just because the time, it's a night race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. All the colors and the cars, they look really amazing on those evening lights, and it just, you can have a great dinner in a restaurant and then go see the Grand Prix and have fun. And I think it's a whole package. It's just amazing. And of course, Singapore is a beautiful place. It's no question about that.
Yeah.
What do you guys say? What do you think about now? Now this weekend, we are at the moment when we are talking, there is a Imola Grand Prix happening. It's a first free practice going on. Are you, all three of you, are you every time when there's a free practice, qualification, the race, are you watching it? Are you like, yeah, come on, guys?
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, all the time. I mean, it's exactly as Thomas said. It's all the time. I mean, we never miss a session. And unfortunately, if we cannot watch it, it's always on our phones, always on a tab. Just keeping a tab at what's happening and what's not. So yeah, I mean, I've been part of my life for like 15, 17 years. So it's a habit now. It's more like a habit.
Yeah. If I'm at work, like I will stream it on my mobile. I'll take a break for like 1 hour and go and stream it and come back.
And before the lockdowns, we used to have live sessions as well, where we used to come together and watch the races and have some banter over there. It's a shame it's not happening anymore, but let's see what happens. But that used to be a lot of fun, just sitting there with everyone, forming a club of sorts.
Oh, so you don't have so India, you don't have can you see the live, the practice and everything? You can.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, it has been broadcasted on Star Sports and Hotstar, so we can definitely watch all the practice sessions and the qualifying session and the race. The most the one thing I missed is the pre-show, where the grid walk is there and everything. They don't show that in India, but I really want to see that again, and hopefully in near future it happens.
Yeah, we missed all the Sky Sports F1 action. That's they have like a 2 hour, half an hour prior show and the post show as well. And near Ted's notebook as well, we kind of missed that. But yeah, F1's done a really excellent job with going live prior to the races, and even after the race, they do have they go immediately live. So we're all hooked on to our television screens at the venues wherever we organize the race screenings, and a lot of banter, like everyone said, Ravi, Tomil and Harwani. And it's like a totally different atmosphere here as well. Like it's all lively with all the sound. We ensure that the sound is at the max, because that's what is a very crucial part of the sport, and a lot of fans do really like that. So we do ensure that the sound's really high, and we do have fans, the fans supporting different drivers. So that kind of adds a really good rivalry of the track, which kind of is a really good experience. Like, I mean, I being a Sebastian Vettel fan, I have to take all the banter of I mean, he's not been at his best, that's there, but I have been the part of taking the banter from everyone. So that's a really good point that we kind of have off the racetrack, and even Fantasy League for that matter. That's also a really good thing that F1's doing.
Yeah. So what, guys? Tell me something about. And don't hesitate to ask from me any questions. If it is a technical question about the Formula One, is it something about when you are driving a car, what do you feel, what you are thinking? But before, just let you know, just go for it. You don't feel embarrassed of any kind of question, because I'm more than happy to give you answer, because if I would be same situation that you guys and I would be not Formula One driver, and you guys would be a Formula One driver, I would go for any kind of crazy questions. But before you, I let you to, of course, to think about it. But is there what about the club? I understood you guys are part of the great, like a supercar club. What is the story about this in India?
Harwani will actually,
so the Supercar Club was started by Mr. Gautam Singhania, who's the CMD of Raymond. It's a club for supercar enthusiasts, and we do drives, events, everything related to automobiles to promote supercars, motorsport, etc. in India. Uh, India did not recognize motorsport as an official sport for a very long time, which was not really conducive to us generating a lot of drivers or young talent. But due to the efforts, I think now last year, the government has finally declared motorsport as an official sport. So, yeah.
It happened in 2017. Basically, government included motorsport as a sport, and that is the major reason why F1 did not happen after 2013 in India. So that was the main reason of why F1 had to leave India and never came back.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's quite an interesting thing. If Formula One is not like recognized to be a sport,
Yeah, like
because I'm personally involved with the company example, who are taking care of the about 80% of the Grand Prix drivers, fitness, and they holistic, the mental coaching and all this. And it's incredible what kind of sport, physical preparations you are going through, traveling around the world, focusing different marketing venues. Of course, the racing itself, for the physical efforts, psychological pressure, what you are going through, communicating with the media. So it's a huge, wide range of challenge what a driver has to do. Mechanics, like you guys know, the mechanics has to change the tires in 3 seconds, those 4 tires, and the car is getting hot. So it's need an incredible sport and the teamwork, coordination to make all this to happen perfectly on time. So I'm very surprised that it's not been so directly recognized to be a sport. And to be honest, talking about Finland, where I'm coming from, the Finland was a similar thing. It was not long time ago, recognized like a sport, because the guy sitting in the car, he puts his seatbelt on and he turns the steering. No, that is not the sport. So I think if you would put all those physics, those numbers, those research, what is going inside of the people's mind, and in terms of physical effort, it's a stunning information. So I think people who are not agreeing that Formula One is not a sport, I would be really amazed to think about which planet you are from.
Yes, you see the exercise there too,
what Checo was doing recently,
and that was insane. I mean, I literally lost it. I that's literally, you need a lot of you need to put in a lot of effort mentally, physically, emotionally as well. You have to be at your A game all the time. And it's so hot. Like the commentators say, it's 49 degrees Celsius, and I'm like, okay, I'm just feeling hot just by hearing that, and imagine just being there at that time. It's like hats off to all Formula One drivers and the entire even mechanics, engineers, pit stop crew. I think they pull off a really massive job in any temperatures, whether it's raining. I think it's literally commendable.
It's really true, and because we have this Inzdr App, and we are partnershiping with the company Inzdr Performance, which are taking care of the number of first of all, the great business people globally around the world, and taking care of about 80% of the Grand Prix drivers, and we have done quite a few sessions with the fitness trainers who are taking care of great drivers, out there in Formula One, and they are telling stories how they are creating this Formula One driver on their peak. You know, how this driver can mentally, physically arrive to the peak. And you can imagine if I would fly from here, from Europe to India, what would happen is the different type of food what we in Europe. We have a different time, different climate. So my body would be going completely different situations. So these fitness trainers, they can bring this science for the drivers to adapt for the temperature, adapt for the right food, adapt for the right sleeping already before they start traveling from Europe to India, 1 week before, you know. So it's a really, really fascinating science behind there to able to maximize your performance. So it's really, really cool. So that's what that's what we are doing in our app Inzdr. That's what we are promoting. We are giving followers to knowledge, to learn behind the scenes, a little bit behind what's happening when the Formula One closes their doors on Sunday after Grand Prix. So what's happening to our company Inzdr? We're opening the doors.
Yeah.
I said, come inside and listen how the driver example start preparing for the next Grand Prix, become again absolutely top athletic. And it's very fascinating to listen to these super professional fitness trainers. And of course, I go with the chat with them sometimes because I'm old man, old Formula One driver. So my physical training was, of course, that time in late 90s, early 2000. My physical training was on the highest level that time. But of course, now, of course, the science has gone much further. You know, the knowledge is incredible what they have.
No, exactly.
I mean, there's constant improvisation happening, and I mean, the sport and all the elements around the sport evolve continuously, and that is the most fascinating point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
But Mika, speaking about racing being a sport, I think I've read somewhere in Finland that rallying is taught to kids at a very young age, right? Did you have any flirtations with rallying early on when you were growing up, or was it purely just track-based stuff for you?
Well, yeah. I mean, what happened to me? What happened to me when I was 6 years old? Yeah, racing with the go-kart in a tarmac, learning and repeating and getting better and better. So what happened in my racing career when I was getting older? Very fortunately, I kept winning, and I was getting older. So I moved to the next level of racing category, and again I was winning. I was getting older, going to the next category, again winning. So everything was going really fantastic. But it came to point when I was 18, I got my driving license, and that was the turning point. It's time to leave the go-karting behind. It's time to move the bigger racing Formula category. So it was decision. It was like a road going. One road goes on the right and one road goes on the left. Which one we're gonna take? Are we gonna take a road which goes to rally racing, or are we gonna go the road for the Formula racing? And it was very. The decision was quite funny actually. It was quite simple, because that was the year 87, 86, and we had already so many rally world champions, you know. We had so many rally world champions, and we had only, I think, and we had a world champion, Keke Rosberg. He won the world champion in 82. So we thought about it, hold on a second. We have so many numbers of the rally champions, and we have only one. Why not to go to to Formula racing, and of course it was not me who was only making decisions. Of course, my parents were involved, my partners who were sponsoring my racing, they were involved, and of course the time when I was in moving to Formula racing, the companies what I had, they were already international companies. They were not the company who was just focusing on Finland. So they thought, okay, I think that going to Formula is a good idea. And they were thinking about it already, Formula One. And of course, so then we end up in Formula racing, and everything turned up to good. You know, it was good end of the day.
Really?
I read, I think your first Formula 4 car was bought by, I mean, you bought the Formula 4 car from JT Leto, if I'm not wrong. Your first Formula 4 car. Yeah,
I did. After go-karting, I went to Formula 4.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting, because when I did the go-karting, you know, with a very high level of go-karting, and I moved to Formula 4. What happened was it was like going back 3-4 years in my go-kart time, because the Formula 4, it had only 180 horsepower. Car was quite heavy, so it was really slow. Like felt like I was driving Formula 4. It was like everything was slow motion, you know. Because the go-kart is of course very tiny, very powerful, very light, a lot of grip in the tires. So it was quite interesting to go to Formula 4. And after Formula 4, I went to racing with Opel Lotus, and that was so then I did a couple of years Formula 3 category, which was very, very tough category. That was a really tough category for racing, and that is the I feel that when I was racing that time, those Formula 1 teams, they were looking already Formula 3 drivers, how they were performing, because from that category you can see when who is going to be the next talent.
Yeah. Especially at a race like Macau, right? That's where it all used to come in.
I think that there is an interesting story about you of you joining the Malboro Racing Academy, where James Hunt and Ron Dennis were on the board of judging, and yours was the last application. Yeah, and yours was the last application, and James was just off. He was just getting off for a beer, and I guess someone, I just don't remember the name, but he stopped him and he was like, "This is the last guy we have to review. Just let's review him, and then we can have our own time." So can you please elaborate on that wonderful story? How was it like? And then eventually you got into that Malboro Racing Academy.
Yeah, I mean, I was indeed, I was doing the Formula 4 category, and basically winning a lot of different Scandinavian championship, the Swedish championship, the Finnish championship, European. I think I didn't do the whole European series of Formula 4. I just took a couple of races, so I won one of them. So automatically what Philip Morris was that time, what they were doing, they were picking up the best drivers of those different categories before the Formula 1, picking up the best drivers around the world, and putting them in the same racetrack to test the cars. So then there's a judges, Mike Earl, who was very respected team manager from the team Orega, I think Ron Dennis was there, James Hunt was there, quite an incredible, important, influenced people
Personality.
of Formula One. So they, so I had a good test. I was like 1 second quicker than anybody of my competitors, and
Wow.
so they didn't have a choice. They just selected me to be a driver. And I tell you what, my biggest weakness when I was going to that test was the language. So my English language was very, very poor. And that was a big trouble, I tell you, very big trouble. And if I would be second fastest in that test, I think all these judges, James Hunt, Mark Earl, Ron Dennis, I think they would say, no, we don't want this guy. He's not ready. But because I was so quick,
Yeah.
1 second quicker than anybody else, they was we don't give a damn, if he doesn't speak any English, but he's quick. He will learn. And that's an important message to a young Indian drivers, girls and boys for the racing driving, that they strengthen their weaknesses. Is it the language? Is it physical condition? And ready to ask from the friends, the family, I said, how do you see me, a person? You think I speak good English?
Right.
Do you think I'm eating healthy enough? You think I am doing enough exercise? And when you are asking from your friends, your family, they can say very clearly that way, no, you don't do enough exercise. So this is important message, because very often young people, when somebody says, you don't eat well enough and you don't do training enough, they take it negative critic. It's important to take this constructive critic that way. Yes, I can do more sports. Yes, I can learn more languages. Yes, I can eat healthier. Yes, because when I do these very basic things, I can become a better racing driver. So that was my
100%.
personal experience, that I had some weaknesses. And when I recognized those weaknesses, I start working on it. Eating healthier, do more exercise, learning better language, become a better racing driver, not to become a better person, because the personality what we have, that's what we got. We got
Exactly.
our personality, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But to put more ingredients in your personality is an important factor. Become one day good in some example, in some sports.
Okay. Speaking of young talent, especially Indian talent, so right now there are a lot of up and coming drivers, but I think since Jehan's win in F2, a lot of us have been tunnel visioned on him. So what do you think of him, and do you think he has a future in F1?
Who is this? Sorry?
Jehan Daruvala, Formula 2 driver.
Yeah.
Driving with Colin.
That's a very good one. It's very difficult to. Formula 2 is a great racing category. Again, Formula 1 is looking absolutely who's doing what, and Formula 1 people, when they're looking to Formula 2 drivers, example, they look all the aspects. They're looking at which team they are driving, who is their engineers. They are looking about the driver's personality. That way, what kind of personality this driver has. And automatically, you can hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And they are looking, of course, how this driver is performing. So it's a very detailed work, So
Right.
just looking at the results, it's very, very difficult to make super conclusion, a judgment about the driver. You need to know everything, exactly like I said, how this person is talking to fans, to media.
Right.
Well, the media is just between the fans and the driver.
True that.
So it's a complicated to say. So it's better me to not to start criticizing or comment too much. I think I have to. Now, when you mention it, I will follow more intensively. So next time when we do this kind of chat, guys, I will comment more about it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I believe a sport grows in the country when a sports person from that country reaches at the top level, and we are still waiting for a Indian Formula 1 winner or Indian Formula 1 champion. When that happens, the scene will completely change in India. I'm very sure of it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But your country has. I feel that. I feel that your country has all the potential. There is no way somebody comes and said no, the Indian driver is gonna be successful. No way. There is no element of that. I feel that it's a matter of management of this young driver to find
100%.
the right people to develop this driver becoming world champion. So it just it's a management, how to operate this.
Yeah.
And of course, the factor is it does need a great partners, great financing support to make this all happen. And you cannot avoid this true factor. The parents has to start already finding a network when this young driver is very young, which is, I know it sounds very difficult, very challenging, but I think India is such a big country, big population, and to finding a driver requires a different type of management team, like Finland, because Finland we have only 5 million people.
Exactly.
So it's not so many. I mean,
Yeah, 100%. 100% we can understand that. And moreover, I feel India is developing right now on the infrastructure point of view.
Yeah.
And that was lacking before. And right now there are new tracks coming up. There are new activities. There are more and more events happening in India. So hopefully, the future of motorsport in India looks really nice.
Yeah,
that's the upcoming sport right now in the country.
I feel like if you want to find a driver from India, it would be very, very hard work. Why? Because it would be like creating a company.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's Finland the motorsport is a hobby. It's fun and so big number of people in Finland of this small population likes motorsport. So to find when the kids goes to school and talks about the motorsport, everybody says, yeah, that's really good. If India somebody goes to school and saying I'm doing motorsport, I don't know. Maybe there is not kids. Maybe the kids are there and saying, well, motorsport, what is that? We do like cricket, we like to play cricket, which is absolutely perfectly fine. It is a great sport
Cricket
also.
is religion here.
But because I think the children, the kids, they want to belong to a certain group of people.
Yes.
And you don't want to be in a corner alone doing something different than others are doing. So that's why this finding a driver from India, becoming Formula One driver, would require, like building a company, it would be a very, very challenging work, but it's absolutely possible.
Exactly.
100%. And on a very serious note, I have basically started a company. I founded Raceworks. So basically, that's probably the first motorsport startup of India. And we are, with our radical approach, trying to promote the sport in the country in the right ways. And we are organizing, motorsport grassroots level events so that more and more audience can participate in the events. And the sport can grow at a very, at a level where people can think of taking this as a career option. So we've been doing that, and we have basically organized a lot of F1 race screenings in Bombay as well. I don't know whether you have seen the clip of Fan of the Week or not, but we designed that show so that that was the first F1 based fan show in the world, I feel. There's no fan based show around the world happening right now. And so, we just came up with an idea that we are organizing a screening and we have hundreds of fans with us. Let's start, let's make an engaging campaign. And that's when we came up with the idea of Fan of the Week, and we started taking people and asking people to participate. And it was a very fun activity and people really loved it. And we got a very good response on that. So I think such small steps will add up, and eventually one day our goal will be achieved. I believe
exactly.
Okay.
Also, I was told that you have a really amazing garage, and I can ask you to show us around if you don't mind.
Second.
I was told you have a really amazing garage, and you could show us around if you don't mind.
Oh my goodness, that's a brilliant thing. I have to tell you something. I was actually thinking about it. I'm gonna do it in a garage, and then I thought that okay, it's maybe better because I can same time when I'm talking to you guys, I can watch little bit the Grand Prix free practice in Imola. So I decided to change the location. So if I now start walking to garage, I'm worried about it. I'm gonna lose the signal. Maybe. So we have to leave this chance for next time, guys.
Sure.
No. Yeah, I think we'll keep it to insider of Mika Hakkinen, and I think your stories are really intriguing, Mika. I think there are a lot of fans who've watched F1 right when you were racing against the likes of Adil, Michael, and they're all massive supporters of you. And I think we've got a lot of questions. Definitely, I think we'll keep it to insider Mika Hakkinen. I think you keep telling us your stories, and I think we'll just kind of enjoy this conversation. And
fantastic, and I tell you. But talking about my fantastic garage, I do. It's funny because it's quite a big garage, and I'm a very difficult person to in terms of throwing things away. It's really challenging. So I'm very selective, and I have saved a lot of from Formula One, the memories and things like that, and there's a lot of little stories to talk about it, but I have to apologize. We have to leave it I could take a risk and I could go there now, but I'm worried I'm going to lose you guys on the
I think
line.
let's do that towards the end, maybe.
Okay, we tried it to the end.
Yeah, we'll try it at the end. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us how, Mika, did you manage to, like you said, like, today there are, trainers training Formula One drivers. There's diet, there's exercise, there's so much to be taken care of. And did you have all that during the time when you were racing? Like, Physio was taking care of you, giving you proper diet and, taking care of you mentally and physically entirely. Did all that?
Yeah, I had it that I had quite an interest. I think I started having physio. I started Formula 191. So I started having a constant physiotherapist starting in '93, and until 2001, I had a physiotherapist seven days a week for full year.
Goodness.
Every day.
Oh my God.
Taking the care of the muscle care, the nutrition, the sleeping. I mean, just name it, everything. And it was incredible journey. Of course, starting from '93 to 2001, I had, I think, least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say 5 physiotherapists. Not the same time, but I had 5 different physiotherapists in those years. And it was a very fascinating to have the right one. And what that means is because when you do spend the time a lot with somebody, mentally, you need to be switched on. That way you are communicate, because you spend so much time together, So somebody who understands you, and that way you have a respect in both sides, what we do. And of course, somebody who is very professional in every level. And it's not easy to find somebody like that, because when you are, let's say, fitness trainer, physiotherapist for the Formula One driver, you travel around the world all the time,
Right.
Exactly.
So you have this physiotherapist going through such a dramatic challenges in his life, what he never has experienced before. If you go to work from home for 10 minutes and then you come to office, you do your homework, you do your work at the office, then you go back home and you do this every day. You can find the balance in your life, your routine, your way of succeeding. But if you have to leave from home and go other side of the world, stay in hotels, airports, and during all that time to have to take care of somebody. Even when you do fly from airplane, example of Europe to India, during a flight, you have to check the nutrition. Airplane, you have to do certain exercise. When you go to the Grand Prix, you just don't watch the movies all the time in an airplane or eat whatever you want. No, you have to do certain exercise. You need to add certain minerals, waters, drinks like that, because staying all the time on the peak. So this is the responsibility of this fitness trainer, and that is a challenge. So I had about 5 different people in my career, and one of my closest and I would say one of the best of my fitness trainers were the Mark Arnold, who is the fitness trainer for Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah.
He's an absolutely great personality and a fantastic fitness trainer. Exactly. Mark is still there, so he's been Formula One forever now.
A big thank you to Marcus and all the trainers that's kind of taken excellent care of you, and you've pulled off so many excellent excellent moves. I mean, tell us one race win that that still you remember it really clearly in your mind.
Say again, please.
Tell us about one race win that you still remember it in your mind. One F1 race that you still remember it very clearly in your mind. That was really special for you.
The race win.
Yeah.
Okay. There was quite a few. There was quite a few.
The most special one.
Yeah, I try to think the special one, something really. I mean, to me, of course, the winning Monaco Grand Prix is ultimate, of course. But I feel that one of the greatest ones was winning in Brazil. And the Interlagos, that's one of the special, and why was special because the racetrack is anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not racing clockwise, anti-clockwise.
Right.
Physically, very demanding track, super demanding physically. It has a lot of downhills, uphills. Very tricky corners where you can very easily to lose the balance of the car. And why Brazil? Because I had a Ayrton Senna for certain time, my teammate when I was racing.
Yep.
And one of my strongest memories of Formula One when I started my career was in '91 when I was doing a race in Brazil. And Ayrton Senna was leading Grand Prix, and he had a gearbox problem, and I think he was stuck in a fourth gear or fifth gear, so he couldn't change the gear. He couldn't change the gear, and I was racing Team Lotus, and I think he already lapped me. I think twice in a race. So I had a chance to follow him. The last 4 or 5 laps, I have a chance to follow him. Look at his racing lines, what he's taking. And the final lap, in '91, when he was doing the final lap, he was leading a Grand Prix, and I can see all the people standing and getting so excited in Sao Paulo, in Interlagos track. So that was so strong memories. So when I was racing and winning Interlagos, I had to work very hard for that victory. And I remember the people cheering and having this excitement. And I felt like, it took me, from '91 to win it in Interlagos. I won there in '98. So it took me a long time.
Yeah.
This physical, it was emotional. Not only physical, but it's emotional victory. And that was incredible. Really beautiful winning there,
Literally getting goosebumps when you were just telling us that
Exactly.
story.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so
like it was.
I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to pick your top 3 drivers for the Imola Grand Prix and what do you expect from the race?
Oh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the Imola Grand Prix?
Yep.
Top 3.
Top 3. I tell you what. At the moment, this is a good one. I had a great chat meeting with Valtteri Bottas after the first Grand Prix in Bahrain. I had a good meeting with him. He's having incredible challenges in his career. A lot of people criticizing him.
Yeah.
But it's normal. It's absolutely normal. And I remind something that when I went to Formula One, it took me about 7 years before I won my first Grand Prix. So everybody criticizes you. Is the Mika good enough? Can he win it? And can he do that? So constantly this. So it's a time when you are really, time when you want to just give up. But I did not. So Valtteri has been winning, getting pole positions, been incredibly fantastic position. So I'm confident that way. I think it's gonna be quite interesting. I think it's gonna be a Valtteri winning in Imola, and then it's gonna be I think then it's gonna be McLaren.
Ah,
I think it's gonna be a McLaren, and it's gonna be a London Norris.
I guess it's completely fantasy.
McLaren gonna be second, London Norris, and then it's gonna be Ferrari, Sainz.
Science. That's
yeah.
very
Science is looking quite good here, at least in the free practice session. But
Wow, come on.
yeah, Mika, what really excites me to know about you is what excites you the most. I mean, not just in Formula One, but in all things going forward. Now you've taken up a role with Inzdr, you've co-founded that app. And what is the one thing that you're looking forward to the most in racing or even outside racing for that matter?
Okay, if I talk about outside of the racing, the world has gone crazy. You know, COVID virus happening at the moment everywhere in the world. People are really struggling. The people personally, the families, the businesses, the whole world is just living at the moment very unsecure situation because of the COVID. So I think when the family, personally myself, the family, the friends can wake up in the morning and they are healthy, I think that makes me happy. That's a really important part. And that is the priority. And I really think that's a very important factor in a life. Of course, in business, this world is going through certain changes. I feel that people want to be together. They want to stay together, and the world has changed because events are not anymore happening. You know, you're not allowed to go to Grand Prix. You're not allowed to go to football game. You're not allowed to go, I think, in a cricket games. You're not allowed to go there. So people want to they want to be part of the thing. They want to be connected. So that's why I'm very, very excited about the Inzdr App example, that we can connect the people. We can be together. And like we are doing now, you know, we are doing a Facebook Live, so we can have a chat. We can have a talk. We can talk about motor racing. I want to hear your stories, guys. How you feel? How do you see the India in motor racing world and supercars world? And you know, it's like I think it's a process for my life is that when I wake up in the morning, I'm looking forward to learn something new, and I think that drives me forward all the time.
Interesting. That's very nice. And Mika, another thing I wanted to know from your perspective is that, of course, the world has changed. And in the past, testing used to be a big thing, right? We used to have lots of test sessions before the season, within it. And nowadays, I think the role of the test driver has diminished quite a lot. So what do you think of that? And is there any special memories from testing as such that come to mind? Perhaps any sessions that you had with Senna as well? Because I've heard a few stories about that one too.
Yeah, I mean, testing is very important. It's like testing is like it's like when you're in school, okay? You know your exam's coming, so if you don't practice, you know, and you go to exams, you're gonna feel nervous. You're probably not gonna do well because you have not been practicing. And that is the Formula One is the same story. You know, this practice is such a huge element, a part of the success. And I did a lot of testing in Formula One, massive numbers of kilometers, all kind of experimental testing programs, what we did. But I think I think the one of the situations when I was testing, which was always quite scary, there was two elements which were happening to me. One thing, which was the most scariest thing, that when I was once testing in Italy, in a Monza racetrack, and I was going 350 kilometers per hour. I mean, super fast on the main straight, you know, and something went wrong, you know.
Oh.
Because the middle of the straight in Italy Monza track, there's always, when the asphalt is joining together, there's a little difference. There's a little bump. So every time when I was hitting this bump for all day long, one moment what happens is my leg came up a little bit and my knee touched the quick release, which is behind the steering, and the steering came off. And I was going 350 and my steering came off.
Shit.
It was the most terrifying feeling. It's like a flying airplane and your steering comes off. Well, your whatever you call it, it comes off. So you know, you're thinking like, that's it, the life is over. So super scary, and that was one of the moments.
A few special words must have come to mind. That's for sure at that moment.
Oh my goodness!
I shit my pants feeling that.
I was hitting barriers and this and that, and it was really a shocking moment because when I lost the control, I was just sliding for hundreds and hundreds of meters, and your mind, of course, keeps thinking about this. You know,
exactly.
When the car stops, you keep thinking about it. I was so close to death.
And not just once, even in Adelaide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't know. Do we have time? I mean, we're running out of time. I think.
We'll take some fan questions.
What do you think? Shall I leave the garage for the next time?
Yeah. I mean, we'll put we'll definitely watch the garage next time. 100%.
We'll take some fan questions now. Is that all right?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah,
if you have some questions,
so question. I know F1 cars are incredibly tough to drive and handle, but from your experience, what was the toughest thing to manage and control in an F1 car? This is from Gaurang Padi.
So toughest thing to manage in a Formula 1 car. Okay, what was the toughest thing? There was quite many physical elements which were affecting for driving. So just a general physical stress. But one thing was quite a big challenge. So when there's a Sunday, and the Sunday is the day of the race day, and when you are going to do grid, so you do your formation lap. You know, you go slowly, okay, and let's say you are in pole position, and all the other drivers are behind you. You do your formation lap, you're heating up your tires, and all the time you're feeling how the brakes are they balanced front and rear, gearbox, everything's functioning, warming up the front tires, warming up the rear tires, and then in formation lap, it's very important what speed you are going in, because when you are in pole position, you don't want to stop on your place on the starting grid too early, and the wait when the last guy is parking his car, because otherwise your temperature of the tires and brakes and everything drops too low. So you have to keep this all the rest of the Formula 1 cars together. So that's one challenge. But then when it comes to one of the most biggest challenges, when you are sitting there on a grid, you know, everybody is lined up, and then the first red light comes on. So then you put the clutch in, you put the first gear, and it clicks, it goes on, and then comes the second light. So the problem is, the most challenging thing in the mind is, when all those light goes off, because it's random, it's never consistent. So you cannot practice that. You cannot practice that when the light goes off, when they go off, when all the red lights are gone, and it's such a challenge in mind. It's something what you cannot practice. It's about your reaction, your instinct, and controlling your mind to stay calm and collective, finding all your energies of your body and your mind, and still stay under control. And that took a long time to learn that one, to not to panic.
Right. I mean, an F1 driver cannot have a panic. He has to keep his mind very calm. I'm sure you can explain it much better.
Yeah, sorry, the line was
All
cutting.
right, there's another interesting question that I have. Yeah, there's another interesting question that I have. I just read somewhere that I think somewhere in 2008, at your mansion in France, that got burned, and all your trophies got burned.
Oh goodness.
All your Formula One trophies and championship trophies got burned. So I just wanted to know how, to what extent it's true, and what was your feeling if it's true?
Oh, if you're talking about this catastrophe, what I had many years ago. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure it must be very bad to lose all your F1 trophies out there. And
well, this is very, very interesting because yes, I have incredible collection of trophies of Formula One, all the Grand Prix and the second position, third, and the first, and all this.
Yeah.
And it's true. I would say 90% of them were destroyed.
Goodness.
But end of the day,
that is heartbreaking.
problem was not so catastrophic because the originals are back in the factory in England.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice. Great to know that.
That's a plus.
So we have the originals.
Do they let you take it back home sometimes?
I'm sorry?
Do they let you take the trophies back home sometimes just to keep it with yourself for some time?
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sure it would be possible, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. I have my memories, and I can go back in the factory McLaren anytime I want. So I don't need to have them home here on the cupboard. It's in my memory.
That's
Great,
awesome.
great.
Awesome. That's really
Tell
good.
us a secret. So coming back, it's an insider app. We want to know everything about Mika Hakkinen. Tell us a secret, Mika, about you that nobody knows.
Oh, some secret?
Yep, a secret, a thing that nobody knows about you.
Oh my God, it's not a secret anymore,
Yeah, it does remain a secret. But one thing that nobody knows about you.
Oh my God, that's a fantastic thing. If I go back to motor racing example, if if it's not a secret, is it a secret? It's a very difficult one to find something what is secret on me. I think secret of the success for myself is, but it's not a secret, is to have to be yourself and to give and to be proud of your personality, because I feel that we're more honest with yourself, and having your personality is give you a great success. And
Right.
I think that could be the secret, but be confident with yourself. I think that's very important, because there there is no any kind of secret book here in the world would give you the success. It's end of the day is to be in yourself and believe in yourself and learning in your life and learn from the people who has done business what you are aiming in your life, to listen to them, to learn from them.
Right.
You don't have to go exactly how they have done, but learn always something little somewhere, something. So I think that's one of the secrets. I think learning is the best thing what you can do. It's just to learn.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Spot on.
100%.
Hey guys, I want to say thank you for your. I think we've been chatting already 1 hour.
Yep.
Exactly.
We actually didn't realize it's like 1 hour is past.
We've still
Seriously.
not got enough of you, Mika, to be honest.
That's
It's been crazy, I think.
But that was
The more we talk about you, the less it is, to be honest.
exactly.
Yeah,
No, but
we are never
what
going to
a-
be satisfied with, yeah, 100%.
But what an experience,
Guys,
seriously.
I tell you
Thank
what,
you for your time.
we have to organize. I know the coach very well, the Philip. I mean, I've been there. I've been in India a couple of times. I love the place. I love the country. I cannot wait
Wow.
to come back over there. And I want to do this again, guys. And we have to do more. Let's talk. This is just a little scratch what we are doing. I want to talk about more about. You have to ask me questions. I mean, flat out everything what you can, because I have such a big memory history behind me, and I can tell you a lot of technical things and lots of things what you want to know.
Right.
That
Definitely.
would be
Right.
superb.
One last question, Mika, if you have some time.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? I mean, I've basically watched Michael Schumacher being champion during my start of my era when I started watching F1. Can you just give me an update on his health? Just as a fan, really curious to know how Michael is, and if you know, I mean, if you're in contact, or if you, I mean, you are definitely in the fraternity, so yeah, some exact news like what Michael is facing and how is he?
Well, we all know it is a very secretive what's happening there, and
true.
when Michael's family want to have this to keep it very secretive, I
Yeah.
respecting the family's wish. So
Right.
I'm not going in there and knocking the door and said, "Come on, I want to see Michael," or the family tell me what's going on, because I respect their wish, because the
100%.
situation where they are, it's extremely difficult, and so
Right.
I don't want to know. It's much better like that.
Yeah, makes
Really
sense.
respect
Makes
that.
sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
100%.
Uh,
100%.
Mika, if one more, how did you pull that maneuver on Michael Schumacher?
Michael
Spa
Schumacher,
2000?
the famous one.
Yeah, I mean, that was some move behind that car, Michael on the right and you on the left and just overtaking him. How on earth did you pull that off?
Yeah. It was really difficult. It was really difficult, and I was so much quicker that time when I had this amazing overtaking against the Michael. I was so much quicker, but he was so amazing to able to close the door all the time. That way, I was not able to overtake him. So so I tell you what, it was very lucky I got this back marker coming on the middle of the track. That way, I was able to make this amazing overtaking against the Michael. So it wasn't scary, but afterwards, when I look at the situation at TV, I thought that if this back marker would make a little tiny move, it would be a really fatal. It would be a really bad one for Michael or for me. But we managed to get through, and it was just brilliant.
That was full send, literally, Mika. I think. I mean, the more I see it, the less I kind of believe it, and it was just literally unbelievable.
But
Yeah,
hey,
it's one of the
gentlemen,
most iconic
it's really
courses.
great to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
for your
thank you
time,
so much.
Mika.
Thanks a ton,
It was a
Mika,
pleasure, it's an honor.
We see you again.
Yep.
See you.
Do you want
Thank
to
you.
take a picture, Mika? We'll just do that, your famous picture, and we'll just take a.
We can take
Okay.
a.
Yeah, everyone. Okay, Ravi's taking it.
All right, guys. Be in that
Super.
position, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I think I got it.
Super.
That's
Thank
cool,
you.
guys.
Thank you, Mika. Thank you for
Thanks,
your
thanks
time.
a ton, Mika.
Thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate your time.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Yep, have a great day. Thank you all for watching this video. I'm your host Naren Harwani, an F1 content creator on YouTube. And if you all did like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell notification on so that whenever I upload any Formula 1 related content, you all get notified instantly and do not miss watching any videos. Thanks everyone and enjoy the upcoming Imola Grand Prix.